it's so hot, we're all going to die. I thought I would dress appropriately for the global warming that we're all experiencing. Al Gore and all the environmental movement have been telling us for years now we're global warming. So here I am in my shorts, my sun hat, and my sandals. You know, so this is dressing appropriately for the weather conditions.
Now, just before we go any further, if you see any warmists, making snowballs and taking aim at you, let us know. We'll cut away. We don't want that on camera. There was a number out today, and I can't remember where I read it, but someone estimated about $100 million per day of lost productivity out of Washington while Congress and Senate are on break.
Yeah, but you see, the global warmist hysterics, they say this snow was caused by global warming. There's an article in Time magazine this week, the snow was caused by global warming. We're in the realms here of reading your horoscope. So no matter what weather there is, too much rain, too much snow, too much sun, they look at it and say, oh, it must be global warming. So that's the level of science we're at now, is that, no matter what happens, it has to be global warming, it has to fit their agenda, because their agenda is about really taxing people, controlling people, and trying to get money off them to fit their agenda.
Sir, Democratic Senator Bingaman, has said global warming is all but done. The cap and trade is all but done. Do you agree with that? And by the way, is that a good thing?
Oh, well, I mean, I think the end of cap and trade is probably good for the American people, but it's good to get a bit of, get science back to where it should belong, and people know that global warming is dead, and it's time that, I mean, it may have been junk science, but I suppose definitely it's junk politics, and now here we are. I mean, I'm dressed here to suit the so-called global warming, and let me tell you, it's not warm here, it's very cold, but this is, this is what the global warming movement has been trying to do, tell you that what you see in front of your eyes is not true, and, it's a good thing for America. It's going to be the biggest tax increase in American history ever, and that's dead now, or so they say. And I mean, oh yes, there's the global warming blizzard that's just taken my sun hat away. Well,
let me ask you this. I heard the Himalayas were going to melt by 2035. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, as we found out, Glacier Gate didn't happen, Climate Gate didn't, Climate Gate emails came out. The science, the science is completely gone, and I think the politics needs to follow up. We need to get rid of this idea of taxing people and taxing carbon. People need more energy. They need cheap energy. They don't need less of it. And by the way, where is Al Gore? I mean, it's a national emergency here in Washington. The National Guard is out. Surely the man who said we were going to suffer global warming should be here explaining where's the global warming, Al. So let's all of America ask, where is Al?
Well, we know where a copy of his book is. It's right outside our studio. But here, here's a question. Now, a couple of months ago, the Obama administration empowered the EPA to declare 5 gases as dangerous gases. Will this administration do nothing to get their agenda through, whether it's, the EPA through a new NOAA panel? It seems like they'll do nothing. They won't stop until they get cap and trade, or at least some form of it through.
Well, I mean, it's nonsense that carbon dioxide is dangerous. The most dangerous thing to America at the moment is 6 feet of snow that we're standing in. The most dangerous thing to Americans all over America is the cold. The cold kills more people than warmth, and maybe the government should be much more concerned about helping people through this extreme weather emergency, rather than pretending that the thing that's coming out of my mouth, the hot air, and the thing that comes out of Al Gore's mouth and all our mouths, the hot air, is dangerous to the people of America. This snow that I'm standing in here, if I stand here for much longer, I'll die, and that's more dangerous than something than CO2.
All right, we're running out of time. What's on deck for Phelan McAleer next?
Well, we'll see. Al Gore still has to answer my questions. His film is full of errors. It's shown in every school. Our film, Not Evil, Just Wrong, we wanted to get into every school in America to try and restore a little bit of balance to the global warming debate, the debate that hasn't happened. People know there's something suspicious about this global warming hysteria, and this needs to be discussed a lot more before they bring in the largest tax increase in American history.
Phelan, we've got to leave it there. Phelan McAleer, thank you. Filmmaker, thank you for joining us from Washington.
Hit just before 4 a.m.
Phones in our newsroom and police stations in the area ringing off the hook.
Our whole house is shook really hard.
We think it was an earthquake.
It didn't cause any reported injuries or much visible damage, but it startled people as far away as Michigan and Iowa.
I mean, a 3.8 happens every week in California, whereas in Illinois it's a once every 20-year sort of event.
The epicenter was about 40 miles west of Chicago. Scientists said it didn't appear to be related to either of the area's two known major faults. In Chicago, digging out from as much as a foot of snow, many didn't notice.
Actually, I thought it was a snow truck cleaning the snow.
Chicagoans are used to Mother Nature acting up. Big snowstorms, howling winter winds, and even though it may be hard to imagine on a day like today, sweltering summer heat. But earthquakes?
You expect that in other states, but not here, not in the Midwest, so it's kind of weird.
Actually, the Midwest is no stranger to quakes. In the early 1800s, three massive ones near New Madrid, Missouri, leveled 150,000 acres of forest, created new lakes, and even changed the course of the Mississippi River. Scientists said today's small quake probably isn't a sign of a bigger one on the way, leaving residents to cope with the more usual kind of fault.
With automatic machine guns. And yes, helicopters swarming around surveillance blimps right here in New York City. And only in the new corporate fascist America would we have a blimp for police state purposes that is sponsored by a major company. And we found out that Fuji gave free bikes to all the police, and guess why? They sold the U.S. government, a bunch of different city governments, or trying to sell other city governments, these high-tech imaging systems, these face scanning systems to recognize who we are. So our face becomes a national ID card, and Fuji is on the cutting edge of that.
The final incremental march of the police state, culminating in open martial law. This is the story of how the elite sold their people into slavery and scared the once proud and brave people of the West into submitting to being cannon fodder in wars for world domination.
Officer, can you tell me this guy's badge number? Secret Police just covers his badge up? Secret Police in America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.